Hola a todos. Vamos a empezar. So, an update, if you will. I feel like I've said update like 1,000 times in my videos, so I apologize. I need to say like something else. I don't know. A continual of the llama drama series. So nothing totally new, but just kind of felt like, okay, I haven't made a video about it in a while and I don't want to leave people hanging. But I guess big picture is whoever deals with Spotlight Nancy in general, and maybe not everyone, because I'm sure there's people that have met her and they're super happy with her and they're still besties and they're still like, go queen, whatever in your life, and like happy with her, whatever. But for those of us who aren't, it's not just once we're done dealing with her, it's done, it's over, we can move on, we're Gucci. No. After you're done dealing with someone like Spotlight Nancy, there are like lifelong effects mentally. And for some of these people, it's physical, it's psychological, it's emotional, it's all of these things. So that's what's super frustrating about this woman. So as far as Robbie's concerned, she is still in the middle of court proceedings because of Spotlight Nancy. And as far as I know, like, yes, her and her husband have some past things that they've done not so great. And Robbie's very open about them, and to me sounded very sincere and like an open book. Like if she does something wrong, she will tell you. And that's something that I don't believe Spotlight Nancy is capable of, and that's just like my opinion. Allegedly, I don't think she's capable of saying when she makes an error. Okay. And a lot of people do struggle with that. Pride is a thing, and like a lot of people have it. So yeah, Robbie and her husband, Jeremy, both are flawed individuals, let's just say, and they have got a past, and Spotlight Nancy is no doubtably going to use that against them, of course, especially when she's done with Jeremy, which I'm sure someday she will be, and then she will, I'm sure, be airing out all of his dirty laundry too, when right now he's a saint because she wants him, and when she's done, I'll feel bad for him. But, I mean, sort of. I mean, he kind of did this. He's a grown man. Like, he does not need to be doing what he's doing. And I kind of feel like he's not getting any flack for what he's doing. It's all, like, mainly spotlighted on Spotlight Nancy, which is, I mean, she likes the attention anyway, so it's fine. I'm sure she's fine with it. But, anyway, sorry. My point is, when you are done with Spotlight Nancy in your, like, immediate time frame of your life, doesn't mean that her haunting is done with you, if that makes sense. Because of the 4 or 5 families just that I know of, not even that she's been involved with, just the ones I know of, have lifelong issues, lifelong problems, lifelong struggles, lifelong trust issues because of Spotlight Nancy. And that's a lot of power to give to someone. And I don't want to give her that much credit. I don't want to give her that much power. But it's terrifying that someone like that, like, she affects me all the time. Every time I'm doing, like, certain things that I remember her doing, I just feel like, oh my gosh, am I being a Spotlight Nancy? Like, I don't want to be her, so I constantly, like, have to, like, think about what I'm doing to not be her. And that's a lot of power to give to someone. And I hate that about my situation. And it just, I want to say, like, this is a real thing and it's a real problem. And it's the same with her sister. She has, like, lifelong issues because of her sister and things that she has gone through that she was not respected as a victim of abuse, and it felt like she would just use her story and other people's stories to her advantage and, like, as she will, but not as, like, we willed it, if that makes sense. And I'm trying to be vague so I don't say too much and, like, but say enough, and it's really tricky. So anyways, Robbie and her family, Robbie, her children, Robbie, and even her now gonna be ex-husband, because they're gonna be in the process of divorcing, and Spotlight Nancy's gonna be, like, all entwined in that, and I just wish there was a way to just, like, block her out, like, keep her out of it, because it's gonna be so much more toxic, just like it was toxic when my ex's family was all involved and all of their opinions was sprinkled into our divorce. Like, it's not healthy. It's obnoxious having other people in the background like, me, you should do this, and me, make sure you do this. And it's terrible. Like, divorce is hard enough. You don't need a Spotlight Nancy in the middle of it, okay? So, like I'm saying, the lifelong stuff is now, there's like going to be all these endless court proceedings because of Spotlight Nancy for the protection orders that's going to be with Spotlight Nancy that has to do with her, that she's directly involved with, and then the divorce and the parenting time and all of that stuff. All that's going to be going on for months, you know, and some of that stuff can last years. Like, sometimes just like your run-of-the-mill basic divorces can be 6 months. And that's like the easy ones. And then the hard ones can last a couple years if things get pushed out, or they don't agree, or they got to postpone, what have you. Or if people are like off getting tickets and they can't show up, things like that can happen, okay? Which is another court proceeding I'm fine with, and I wish they could do a live video of it so I can watch it. But see, I'm sure it won't. So yeah, there's just a lot of people that have known Spotlight Nancy that have lifelong or months-long or years-long issues because of her. Like, that's a lot. I literally try to live my life in a way that people are better off knowing. No, okay. How do I say this? Sounds dumb, but every time I meet someone, I want them to be better off than before they met me, if that makes sense. Like, I want to have a good impact on people, a positive impact. And obviously my ex-husband and his family are not going to say that because, like, they hate me for some reason, and, like, I still can't figure out why. Which is really dumb, but whatever. So, like, everyone can have people they don't like. Everyone can have people they don't get along with. But if Spotlight Nancy affects so many different families in a very similar way and it's negative, that's a huge problem. And that's, like, really embarrassing. And, like, hello, if it's, like, everyone has, like, these negative side effects to being around you, it's gotta be you, right? Because if I had tons of families who were having, like, emotional problems just because I was involved in their life, like, I would be devastated. Like, that would be so horrible. And I try to do the opposite in my life. I really, really try to make a good impact, to, like, make positive impacts on people's lives, to try to be a good friend, a good family member, a good sister, good everything. Like, I try my best. So it's just really heartbreaking for me knowing that Spotlight Nancy has had so many negative things happen to families once she's around them. It's like a little ball of destruction, and it's terrifying. So anyway, that's really all. I should get off now, but just that's the update. The update is that, yay, Robbie got to see her kids, and she right now gets them, like, every weekend. And that is amazing. That's awesome because, you know, she was waiting over 7 weeks to see her kids, all because of Spotlight Nancy. And I don't think this would have happened had she not been involved. Like, if it were just her and her, if it was just Robbie and Jay getting a divorce or something like that, I don't think any of this would have even, it would have been necessary and, like, unnecessary. There wouldn't have had to be protection orders. Like, they were living together, like, so far, like, it wasn't anything too crazy. I don't think any of that would have had to happen at all. So because of Spotlight Nancy, now it's this big long stream of drama that is ridiculous. So anyways, and getting to miss, like, their whole football season and just stuff like that the kid will probably never get over, the mom will never get over, like, just lifelong situations that she has put this family in, and not just their family, but lots of other families too, will forever have trust issues, emotional issues, just bad memories. You know, they'll probably think of Spotlight Nancy every time they go to do certain things, and it's like, oh, I remember that. And it's just really sad. And some people will never be able to recover their relationships. Like, some of those family ties are literally severed, and they don't know if they can ever get them back. And to me, that's just, it like I said, it would be devastating if I put myself in Spotlight Nancy's shoes and I was the one, like, being like a walking tornado and just destroying families from within, pretending to be rescuing them, pretending to be, like, this advocate. And I think that's what is the most infuriating, if I can say that word properly, is that she's posing as a victim's advocate and a life coach, but she's the worst at it. she's just life coaching their family right into the ground. So that's all for now, folks. Bye-bye.
Apparently my affair that I'm supposedly having.